can I help you?
I'm looking for an extra towel.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 David and Stevie moments on Schitt's Creek.
I'll be sure to scatter your ashes in a much nicer parking lot.
I do have a very good idea.
What you lack in most things, you make up for in unsubstantiated confidence.
Okay, are we good to go?
This would be a really sweet moment if what we had just admitted to each other wasn't so sad.
For this list, we're looking at the funniest, sassiest, and most heartwarming moments shared between these besties. What's your favorite David and Stevie moment? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Towels, a rude awakening. David is mortified upon arriving at his new home, and the lack of serviceable towels in his bathroom practically moves him to tears. Although his request for more towels is reasonable, Stevie responds to David's business center query with some of her signature sarcasm.
We do have a business center. You can find it right outside the doors to your left, right beside the hammam spa.
Taking little pride in her job as a concierge girl, Stevie doesn't put David's needs at the top of her to-do list.
I have asked you thrice now for a towel so that I may wash this town off my body.
She eventually decides to help, but only because David used the magic word, rude.
Fine. But I'm only doing this because you called me rude, and I take that as a compliment.
Although they don't get off on the best foot, we quickly see how similar David and Stevie are despite their different backgrounds. Both are snarky, both wish they were elsewhere, and neither should give lessons on politeness. This may be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Number 9. Just friends. After hooking up the previous season, David and Stevie struggle to sort out their relationship status. David expresses jealousy when Stevie plans on going to a bar to have her needs met.
By some lovely gentleman she's yet to meet who is cute enough to sleep with, but not nearly mature or stable enough to marry.
She reluctantly brings David as her wingman, but it's slim pickings for both of them.
It's like everybody saw you coming and left.
With nowhere else to run, the two decide to see where a kiss takes them. They immediately decide that it doesn't feel right, solidifying their friends-only status with a game of pool.
You want a break?
From what?
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
In a more conventional sitcom, Stevie and David would have had an on-again, off-again relationship, culminating with them getting back together. Schitt's Creek wisely stuck to its instincts, maintaining their platonic friendship for the remainder of the series without ever looking back. Number 8. Fungal cream and cereal boxes. Considering they started at opposite ends of the track, David and Stevie would have arrived at very different destinations had their lives not intersected. Had it not been for Stevie's motivation, Rose Apothecary likely wouldn't be a Schitt's Creek staple. David isn't surprised that the general store is closing due to the inventory and management.
Can't tell what's more tragic, the fact that the only store in town is closing or that they've decided to display the fungal cream beside the cereal boxes.
Like, who mixes skincare products with breakfast?
It's like they knew what the consumer wanted and then ran in the opposite direction.
Stevie encourages David to put his suggestions and blouse barn money to effective use. Although Moira has reservations, she soon comes around, and Stevie is there to give an extra push.
Why don't you channel some of that charming self-pity into a business plan, okay? Because the lease is yours, David, if you still want it.
Which he does.
Most importantly, if Stevie didn't support David's idea, then he wouldn't have applied for a business license, meaning he wouldn't have met Patrick. All roads lead back to his friendship with Stevie. Number 7. David, Stevie, and Jake. While Stevie and David don't revert back to being friends with benefits, they do find themselves in an awkward love triangle with Jake. While at least David and Stevie find the situation awkward, Jake is totally casual about it, leading to an especially uncomfortable proposition.
Let's all be with us.
Jake believes that they should all be together, catching David, Stevie, and the audience off guard. As Jake holds their hands, the two share hilarious expressions of shock and confusion. Slowly realizing that nobody was on the same page, Jake kisses his lovers goodbye with no hard feelings.
This one's for you. Mwah. And you?
Oh, I get one. Okay.
Mwah. All right. We'll see ya.
Although it's a bittersweet breakup, Stevie and David take solace in knowing that their friendship can resume without any further complications. Of course, Pony does have a few more run-ins with Jake.
So you and Pony, what do you have planned for tonight?
Well, it's date night, so we thought maybe we'd spend it in the woods.
Yeah, just galloping around the woods, huh?
Number 6. Wine preferences. Schitt's Creek has been trailblazing in its portrayal of sexual identity. Season 1 establishes David as pansexual, which Johnny explains to Roland.
Oh, he loves everyone. Men, women, women who become men, men who become women.
Having recently slept together, David opens up to Stevie about being pansexual, using wine as an analogy. Stevie only drinks red wine, and she previously assumed that David only drank one wine as well. David tells her that his palate is in fact open to many different wines, red included.
But I also drink white wine. And I've been known to sample the occasional rosé. And a couple summers back, I tried a Merlot that used to be a Chardonnay.
While David has enjoyed a wide variety of wines, he's never been too focused on the label. Whether it's red, white, or rosé, David mainly cares about the taste and the size of the bottle.
As long as you didn't roll over and cry yourself to sleep with regret, then we're good, right?
No, I absolutely did that. Just wept for hours in the dark. I say we go with this one, it's the biggest.
After last night and the night ahead, the two could definitely use some wine. Number 5, R.I.P. Stevie's great aunt. It's not often that Stevie lets down her defenses, even in front of David. So when Stevie's great aunt Maureen dies, it takes David a bit to comprehend that this isn't her twisted sense of humor at play.
Okay, I can't tell if we're still joking or not.
I'm not.
Okay, and now I can't tell whether you're playing into the joke or whether, you're telling the truth.
She was 78.
So you're not joking.
Although consoling people isn't David's forte, he agrees to see Stevie through this depressing time. Of course, David underestimates just how depressing matters will get.
I know this may sound premature, but have the two of you thought about the planning of your own funerals?
Okay. I think we got what we came here for.
Stevie becomes overwhelmed by the situation, fearing that one day she'll end up just like Maureen, alone and scattered in a parking lot surrounded by garbage cans. While David's first instinct is to crack a joke, he sees that Stevie needs a confidence boost, and that is exactly what he gives her.
She made her decisions. And you are going to make yours, and they are going to be different. And they are going to be great.
The more David comforts Stevie, though, the more fate intervenes.
What is this?
That is the deed to the motel.
Sorry?
Maureen Budd owned the motel.
Number 4, monogramming. Despite being sort of exes, nobody is happier about David's engagement to Patrick than Stevie.
Oh my God! Oh my God, David! Oh my God!
And since Stevie is incapable of faking sincerity, we know that the joy on her face is 100% genuine. She has no problem sharing her big night with David, so much so that she almost misses her performance of Cabaret. Showing up not long before the curtain rises, Stevie reveals why she was late. Patrick asked for Stevie's approval before popping the question. She thus took the liberty of ordering monogrammed towels as a present, but she wasn't prepared to pick them up so soon.
Would have been nice if he told me when it was happening. I literally could have picked these up any other day this week, but I will yell at him later.
It's a touching and funny callback to the day they met, showing how far their friendship has come. Some things are worth waiting for, towels included.
I assume you two will be moving in together, and I won't be there to give you towels when you need them, so...
Thank you. I appreciate the monogramming and the choice of thread color.
Number 3, Platonic sleepover. When Alexis gets lice, David needs a place to crash. Although Patrick extends an invite, David isn't sure if his business partner wants to be more than that. Even if he did, David has doubts about taking that step. So, Stevie opens her door and bed to David, but they have no trouble keeping things platonic.
Okay, I just see 2 deshelled hard-boiled eggs in a bag. Should I be scared for you?
There's also, fortunately, no mirror above Stevie's bed. During their sleepover, she steers their conversation away from eggs and towards Patrick.
What are you doing?
What? You guys just seem to really get along well.
Yeah, because we're in business together and complement each other professionally.
Stevie can tell that these two would make a great fit, but David needs some convincing. They ultimately come to 3 conclusions. Patrick is Bill Gates, Stevie needs to buy a fresh carton of eggs, and David is flustered about at least one of the above.
You seem flustered.
I'm not Maybe it's the eggs.
Number 2, Besties. There are several instances where the creators could have revisited David and Stevie's sexual history. The most notable example comes in season 4 when David questions where he stands with Patrick and Stevie takes him on a spa getaway with honeymoon benefits.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay, and I completely understand. I just worry that if we don't put the hats on, that the other guest will inevitably force us to.
Okay.
Even as the waitress throws rose petals their way, though, the idea of Stevie and David hooking up again is never even humored. Patrick remains on David's mind, and Stevie reassures him that their relationship can overcome this hurdle. It's not only an important chapter in David's romance with Patrick, but also his friendship with Stevie.
I think you're my best friend.
You think?
Well, I can't know for sure, because I'm realizing now that I don't think I've ever really had one.
The episode's true love story is the one between best friends. It's among the show's many uplifting moments. If only the lover's curry didn't come with it.
But we got through it, and now we have a story we can only tell each other.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Best wishes, warmest regards. How every Schitt's Creek fan says goodbye.
Warmest regards to you both.
Best wishes. Yearbook photo. We want a young Stevie series.
Could you put it back, please?
Why would I put it back when Stevie Budd was voted most likely to get the guy? With that haircut?
I'll have you know I was very popular with the boys.
Stevie crashes date. Thumbs up to this exchange.
Even coming from the kitchen, they lost a lot of shape.
Moral support. You know someone's special when you ask them to help get rid of a bug.
Now it's hiding somewhere in the darkness, waiting for nightfall. I can't sleep here. I can't sleep here.
Not with your mouth open, anyway.
That's not a nice thing to say to me.
Fashion feedback. So, is it a sweater or a poncho?
Honestly, while I admire your courage, when it comes to fashion, I'm just not the best person to ask.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. You've won. Throughout the series, David Rose learns that he can still be David Rose no matter where he lives. He also finds that the extravagant lifestyle he once lived might not suit the person he's grown into. A happy ending stares David in the face as he sits in front of a dream house that Patrick picked out for them.
You know, I was just thinking about how Patrick must have driven out here and knocked on that door and asked those people to call him if they ever planned on selling, just because I said it was nice. Who does that?
Deep down, David knows that this is what he wants. But New York seems well-tailored for his big dreams.
Why do you want to go back to a place that's done nothing but hurt your feelings?
Because I want those people to know that I'm not a joke. And that I've won.
David, look at this place. You won.
Stevie helps David realize that he can fulfill those dreams here with Patrick, and it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Thanks to her, David sees what true love, friendship, and victory look like. Although the verdict is still out on what that smell was.
Did you put on deodorant today?
Excuse me?
I know, it might be the farm.
It's the farm.
Okay. I smelled something.
It's not me.
All right.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.